How to Stop Micromanaging and Start Empowering. By Leah Garvin. As a new manager, you care a lot. We get it. We appreciate it. But when caring turns into having to control every single thing, from the wording choices in a consequential email to the shade of blue used in the internal team website, you've taken it to the extreme, and it's time to rein it in. When we think of the controlling boss, we often think of someone yelling at their employees, telling them they can't cut it, and creating an all-around hostile work environment. But this is often not the case. It can be a slippery slope from kindly wanting to be looped in to full-on micromanagement. By micromanaging, I mean being overly prescriptive on tasks and follow-ups to the point of taking learning opportunities away from your team. Yes, your greatest weakness can be that you care too much. This can be especially hard for new managers who are working to make their mark as a leader while feeling pressure to perform well and prove themselves to their direct reports and boss. But fear not, here are 3 ways to break the cycle. Talk about the outcome, not the process. When you ask someone to complete a task, look closely at how you frame it. For instance, if you say, "I'd like a workshop organized with a people on B day, covering C topics, to get to D resolution," you figuratively and literally spelled out the whole process for someone. This level of detail and direction makes people feel like you don't trust them to figure things out, or that they're just here to follow marching orders. Sometimes, marching orders are exactly what a task requires. But whenever possible, you should give people the autonomy and space they need to step up and be leaders. This is what great managers do. They allow people to experiment, make mistakes, learn, and grow, so that they can become stronger performers. The next time you assign someone a task or project, talk about the outcome you want, not every step you want them to take along the way. In her book Dare to Lead, Brené Brown discusses the concept of painting success. This means talking with your team about what done looks like and what a good job looks like to keep everyone on the same page. In the example above, the outcome you're looking for is D resolution. So, start there. Do a detailed problem analysis, and then say to your team members, "I'm looking to achieve this outcome." How would you approach it? Let them share. Even if you don't agree with their proposal, you showed them that you trust them, that you're interested in their ideas, and that you value their contributions. Set expectations around feedback. If you've read to the end of the first section, you may be thinking, "But what if my team's plan won't get me the outcome I'm looking for?" To protect yourself from this problem, discuss when and how you'll be giving your team members constructive feedback at the start of each new project. Basically, set boundaries, but also give people space to breathe, experiment, and make mistakes within those boundaries. Creativity, after all, thrives under constraints. When you're setting expectations around how you'll give feedback, you should discuss the type of feedback you'll be sharing. Will you want to line edit their proposal, or just give directional feedback on the content? In these moments, try to stay objective and check yourself for any micromanaging tendencies. For example, if you're eager to line edit, ask yourself why. Who is the audience you're trying to impress? If the proposal is for an internal team meeting, do you really need to fix every slightly loaned sentence? Probably not. If the proposal is going out to the press or senior stakeholders, fine, open the floodgates. Your feedback should match the consequences, and when the stakes are low and the feedback is overly detailed, it can make someone feel like they're being picked on. And when someone feels picked on, they're not in a headspace to learn.
Manage up when possible. Now you might be thinking, but the work of my direct reports reflects on me. If it isn't perfect, it looks like I did a bad job. Well, not necessarily, and certainly not if you've done a good job of managing up. Your role as a people manager is to develop your people, to help them build a thriving career, and to train them to be your predecessors one day. In doing this, you have to give people the space to grow and make their own unique mark on a team. In conversations with your own manager, talk about your team members, areas you're helping them stretch and grow, places they're stepping up and shining, and what your plan is for the team long term. This gives you an opportunity to show your manager "I've got this" when something isn't quite perfect. If you feel squeezed by your manager, it's likely you'll direct some of that back to your team, even if you really try not to. By talking to your manager about the very same things you talk to your team members about, what success looks like on a project and how you'll share feedback, you have an opportunity to gut check 1, if they agree on your definition of success, and 2, the ways and moments they can share feedback if they'd like to chime in as well. Managing teams is hard. It's even harder when we care. And it's even harder when our team members don't do things in the exact same ways we do. But this diversity of thought is what results in growth, creativity, and innovation. The last thing you want to do is wear someone down into working exactly like you and your own management chain. Celebrate the different ways of solving problems, of reaching successful outcomes, and create opportunities for people across your team to learn from each other. The more people feel like their ideas and ways of working are recognized and valued, the better work they do, and the longer they'll want to stay on your team. If you're stuck in a cycle of micromanaging, it's not too late. Start right now. Let go a little bit, and watch your team members rise to the occasion.